Hello and welcome to Goddess Resurrection. My name is Britta and I am your host. And today's episode is on creating space for what you really want. We will dive into two very easy ways in which you want to understand that concept of creating space for what you really want. Because you have the power. You're a creator incarnate. So it shouldn't be that hard. But before we dive in, hello, my gorgeous sisters. How are you? I hope you are well. I hope you are breathing and feeling. The vibrations are so high, right? So much going on. A lot of people are purging so much. Yet other people that have really been putting in the work are noticing the shifts that are happening so quickly right now. Changes are able to happen so quickly right now because these higher frequencies that are coming in are really picking up the pace, right? Whatever we're thinking about is now easily manifesting. So be careful, good and bad, right? Remember, we spoke about that. Really pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to your words, pay attention to your choices, because you really being in charge of yourself and conscious and present to yourself now matters more than ever before. Good. So let's talk about creating space. So creating space is obviously not a new concept, right? But it's a very powerful concept and a very easy concept to really work with, because think of it in this way. Whenever we're getting rid of something, right? So for example, let's say we're cleaning out the closets. We're getting rid of stuff. We're giving things away, right? Maybe we're donating, maybe we're giving things to friends. We're creating space in the closet. And then what happens? It fills back up. It fills right back up. We're clearing out the garage. It fills right back up. That's because it's the concept of the vacuum. Whenever we create space and we get rid of things, we're creating space. And so this space now wants to be filled. It's a vacuum. It sucks in something to fill it with. And this really goes for all ways, all things here on earth, in this earthly realm. Stuff always just comes in when we're creating space, right? You get rid of a boyfriend, you make space for new. And so we're wanting to create that vacuum very consciously. So there are two examples that I want to focus on. One of them is that concept of repatterning, right? So we are all now in the process of repatterning, and hopefully you are very consciously focusing on repatterning yourself. And that means you are aware of yourself. You are aware of your patterns. You know your wounding, you know your triggers, you know your reactions. At this point, there is not much that is unknown to you about yourself, right? I mean, unless you're just beginning, which that's also fine. This also is applicable for you. But if you've been on the path of your healing, of your growth, you know yourself. And you recognize the energies. You recognize what drives you. You recognize when you want to react. You recognize when you get activated. You just recognize yourself in your patterns. And so this is a very wonderful way of actively repatterning yourself, really working with it. So let's say, as an example, you have in the past always liked these people. You've felt drawn to the people that are, very narcissistic, and they can be very charming and alluring, right? And they've got lots of drama going on, and right, are big in their energy and are very entertaining. And this is probably why in the past you felt drawn to people like that, because it was fun and they were exciting and always a good time, right? But it came at a cost, right? It usually comes at the cost of there are downs, deep downs that are of, them dumping on you, their heaviness, their drama, right? And this dumping can increase with time the more that you're forming a close connection to this person, for example. So this dumping can definitely get heavier and heavier and thicker, but also, this energy of these imbalances, this hot cold, this high low that comes with personalities like this is also very costful to your well-being, to your energy. Because if you feel drawn to that, that means you're still open to that energetically, which means you're still taking on their energy. You're still taking on the good times, the fun times, right? The excitement, but you're also going to be taking on their lows, right? When it gets really heavy and when it gets pretty dense. And so let's use this as an example for the pattern repatterning. You knowing your pattern, and please use your own pattern for this example, right? So let's say this is the example of liking, feeling drawn to, bringing to yourself people like that. Yes, that are just very like high, low, hot, cold. And you recognize for yourself that that is not really where you want to put your energy anymore. You've recognized for yourself that you really want to be able to have more balanced relationships. You've recognized for yourself that you want to make sure that your own energy stays clear, stays light, so that you can stay in your light connection, so that you can stay in your well-being most of the time. And you have recognized for yourself that it matters who you're surrounding yourself with. You have recognized for yourself that the quality of people, you want people that are on the path. You want to be in friendships or relationships with people where there is more of a high node that is consciously pursued, that is an awareness, that's a communication, it's a lifestyle. That's what you are ready for. You want like-minded, that not only are talking the talk, but also walking the walk. Good. So let's say this is now your commitment to yourself. You have to understand that you will get tested, right? Because in order for you to change your patterning, you have to be aware of yourself, because only you in the end are the one in charge of your own patterning. Only you in the end are the boss of you and are able to really embody the transformation. So here you are in all of this awareness, and now you are going to be introduced to a person that has seemingly maybe those qualities. You're not so sure. So now you're needing to pay attention, right? Don't just blindly rush in because, oh yeah, I love that person, because subconsciously you know this energy. Your physical body will feel drawn to that person because you're familiar with this energy, right? We have familiarity patterns. We have comfort zone patterns that right now are really being challenged for a good reason, so that you can change and choose for yourself, for what you really want, not just the old comfort zone, but what you really want. So now you're being introduced to this person and you can feel yourself, right? Feeling drawn to them, liking them, ha 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 ha, like, laughing along, having a good time, da 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 da. And you're like wanting to stay connected with them. You're wanting to like be friends. You're wanting to go on a date. You're wanting to know this person. And so this is when now it's your job, your responsibility to catch yourself and be like, okay, this is my test. And by the way, there is no outside force that's testing you. It's you, it's your higher self. Your higher self is now testing you. You, the true you, the all knowing, all seeing you, the soul that you really are, that is in this incarnation, but not all in the physical body, right? Most of you is not in this body. And so now this consciousness that you really are is aware of that. You're really wanting healthier lifestyle, healthier relationships, more balanced relationships. So the higher self you, the higher, lighter part of you that's not in this body is now bringing on this test for you so that you can not only choose it, but level yourself up by recognizing that, oh, okay, yeah, so, but this is the same person again, just a different package. Same person, different package. That's how they come. It's just a different package, but the same patterning, very similar patterning, right? And so here, this is when you get to say to yourself, okay, I'm recognizing that this is me feeling drawn, me wanting to know this person. And that's okay, but I'm going to go slow. I'm not going to throw caution to the wind. I am not going to just fall back into the old pattern, into the old cycle, but I'm really, really, really going to look to see deeper. I'm going to look to feel deeper. I'm going to look to sense deeper into them, into what's really there inside of them. Where is this person at? Right? And so if you just take yourself out of your own way and you stay in your breath and you stay in your feminine energy, you will recognize that, okay, yeah, they're still pretty heavy. There's a lot of stuff that they're hiding. Even if there is some exchange, even if there's some communication, you'll very quickly recognize the old energies again because you know them. And so you will be able to feel them. You will be able to notice them, right? Don't underestimate yourself. You'll know. You just have to be honest with yourself, right? That's the whole key. So here you are noticing it, recognizing it, going, yeah, same person, different package. Okay, this is my cue. Okay, this is me giving myself a test. Okay, I'm gonna have to pass. So you want to now make that choice for yourself that you're going to pass. You're going to pass because you don't want more cray-cray in your life. You don't need more hot and cold in your life. You don't need more imbalance in your life. You don't need more of that density that will inevitably come into you and your life and your energy any longer. And so, because it's a brand new person, it's still easy to excuse yourself. It's still easy for you to, generously and gently and kindly excuse yourself that you're busy or you'll be traveling or you've got your kids or you've got work commitments or, just excuse yourself. Excuse yourself from any further commitments. Don't make yourself go. Keep excusing yourself, even if you have nothing else planned. Right? This is part of the test. You now need to stay true to yourself because you really want more. You want healthier, balanced, self-loving, right? Mind alike, energy alike experiences in your life now. And so in order for you to get that, you have to now know that, okay, so this is your process of you letting this go. This is you creating space that, nope, not gonna do it, not gonna clutter my energy, my time, my space with this person. Bless them. Don't judge, just bless them. May they be their light. May they find their light. May they be the happiest person ever. Focusing back onto yourself and now letting yourself settle into that you just passed on this opportunity and therefore you passed the test. Because you value yourself more than the quick fix, because you validate yourself and that this is what you want and this is what you deserve. So let's not crowd the space with this. And again, no judgment. It's just your ability to choose for your light. It's your ability to choose for your higher vibration that you are exercising. And that's you being the creator of your own life. And so now, because you've passed the test, you're going to raise in your vibration. So you're going to have to give it a minute, right? Because you're going to now have an influx of vibration that will settle in mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically. It could take up to a few weeks, sometimes even up to a few months. If this was a really deep and heavy pattern, you might even get a second test coming in. Just to make sure that you really got it, just to make sure that you really learned your lesson. And so again, you repeat the same thing, right? You'll recognize it, choose for yourself, choose for what you really want. And then your vibration will upgrade. That's when you'll shift in patterning. That's when you'll mentally, emotionally, energetically, physically will shift and you'll feel it. You'll feel lighter. You'll feel better. And that's when higher vibrational people will come into your life because you've chosen to level yourself up. Nobody and nothing will do it for you. You have to choose to level yourself up for yourself because of what it is that you want next, right? And so we level up layer by layer by layer. We keep leveling up. And so then you will get what it is that you're really wanting and what you worked for, right? What you passed on will be replaced with what you really want and really deserve. So yay. Good. And so let's use this other example. This other example is also patterning, but it's more like physical patterning in form of action. All of it is patterning, all of it is energetic, but this is more tangible. So let's say, and use that, let's consider that this is an offering, right? So the one is really the conscious repatterning of yourself. And this you can look at more as an offering. And I know that, for example, not that we're religious, but I appreciate and support them all. In Catholics, in the Catholic belief, right, there's Lent. So you give something up for 40 days and 40 nights. Not that this is a specific time frame, but it's a similar thing. It's an offering. It's an offering. So, you know, all cultures have always given offerings to the gods and the goddesses, an offering of food, or flowers, or scents, or, you know, whatever they deemed valuable at that time. And these offerings were always to get something in return, right? You give something to get something. That's an offering. And sometimes it's just an offering because you give that love and you don't need anything in return. But an offering is always a praising. It is always a connection to the higher power. And so think of what it is that you, in your physical habits, in your physical addictions, is it shopping? Is it too much screen time? Is it food? Is it sugar? Is it gluten? Is it sex? Is it alcohol? Is it smoking? Is it, you know, ignoring and rushing out to be out and about all the time, so you never have rest time? Whatever the tendency is, whatever the physical pattern is that you have been tired of, that you have been really frowning upon within yourself, that you have really known that, oh, this isn't good, it's too much, you know what habits, you know what tendencies, you know what ways aren't good for you anymore. You know what has to go. And sometimes it's not a total, having to go forever, but it's a real rebalancing and minimizing, right? So it's never to eat sugar again, but to definitely lower that intake very, very consciously, right? And so you could choose 40 days if you want to. You can choose a month, you can choose 2 months, or just really give that offering of, wanting to just minimize it, right? So let's use sugar, because sugar is such a bad addiction and it ages us. Sugar is not only aging us, it's also causing a lot of illness and a lot of cloudiness in our brains and emotional bodies. So sugar definitely needs to be one of the things that we only use, only eat, only indulge in every so often. Can't be every day, can't be all the time. So let's use the example of sugar. So now this is your offering. And of course, you pick your own offering, right? You pick your own pattern, your own habit. What is it that you've known about? What is it that has been bothering you? What is it that you do, you have a tendency to do that you really know needs to get limited? And so that's your offering. And that's your offering. And so really make it that ceremonial way of choosing for yourself, this is what I'm offering up. I'm offering this to myself. I am offering this to my soul. I am offering this to my growth. I am offering this to my lights. I am offering this to my divinity, to my higher self, and offering to create space, right? To do it less, much less. And this offering is so that I create space for more clarity, more health, more self-love, more self-control, more self-respect. That ability to really feel good about myself, that ability to know that I am in charge of me and I have the power to choose for my well-being, for my clarity, for my health, for my illumination, for my healing, for my growth. And so sometimes the foods we eat, the ways in which we act and, choose can very much affect our vibration, can very much affect our light embodiment. And you know exactly, intuitively, when you take a moment to yourself, you know what that is. So again, number 2 is this offering. Give this offering to your higher self, your soul, your light, right? Your divinity. your journey of ascension, your journey of healing, your journey of growth. Give this offering to that which matters to you, so that you open up, and by creating the space, by eating it less, by doing it less, to receive the results, because you will. Those results will come, and you'll notice how you feel better, how you feel lighter, how you feel clearer, how you feel stronger, how you feel more empowered. Because when you are giving something up, when you are giving an offering, when you are creating space for your betterment, for your self-love, self-respect, that's huge. That's so huge. You will notice the shifts. You will not only notice how you feel so much better, but you'll notice a strength building inside of yourself. That's your light. You will increase your vibration. You will feel that empowerment growing from within yourself, guaranteed. And so now that everything is happening so quickly, now that everything is shifting so rapidly, and we are given this vibrational support to create the change, to be strong for ourselves, to walk our talk, to take charge of ourselves mentally, emotionally, energetically, and physically, will give you the light embodiment, the vibrational increase that you want and deserve and are ready for. Because now is the time. And so if there's any resistance within you, right, in those moments when whether it's the patterning with the person, that energy that you're feeling, right, that is making you feel so drawn to them, in that moment when it's really strong, just come into your breath and come into your feminine energy. Same with the offering. When you're missing the sugar and you're craving the sugar, or you're craving whatever else it is that you're giving up, make sure you come into your feminine energy, come into your breath. Bring all of your attention onto the breath. Bring all of your focus to that in and exhale, because you're doing a pattern interrupt in this moment. And this pattern interrupt is necessary and important. And in this moment, when you're interrupting that old pattern, that old tendency, that old habit, that old addiction, make sure not only are you focusing onto your breath to get out of that for a few moments, and then when you've created that space again from that old energy, give yourself some acknowledgement and say, okay, I just did that. I just interrupted the pattern. Okay, great. I can do that. All I have to do is just come into my breath, come into my feminine energy. Fantastic. And then from here, go ahead and reinforce to yourself why. Reinforce to yourself why you just pattern interrupted. Reinforce to yourself why you just took that moment to breathe away from this old tendency, this old addiction, this old energy that's wanting to get you that craving, and you're just, really focus on the breath, really come into the breath, use the breath, hold your breath after the inhale, hold your breath after the exhale, just to shake that energy loose, and then it'll get easier and you've made it through to the other side. And then you acknowledge to yourself, well done, I just pattern interrupted. And then, okay, and this is why. Yeah, because I want this, because I deserve this, because this is what I want for myself, because I'm in charge, and this is how I am now choosing for myself, for my light, my lightness, my clarity, my well-being, my light embodiment. So, right, make sure you don't forget to reinforce to yourself why. right? And say to yourself, see it for yourself, feel it for yourself. Why that is what you're doing it for, because that's what you want. And then really take some time to focus on it. Yes, it's going to be so good when I'm in a healthy relationship. It's going to feel so good when I'm with somebody who's like-minded. It's going to feel so good when I'm not clouded anymore and I feel so much clarity and so much better in myself and in my body, right? And all of this wonderful confirmation to yourself, and make sure you visualize it, make sure you feel it, how much better it's going to feel. And if you don't know what it's going to feel like, imagine what would that feel like. What I would imagine that I would feel good about myself. I would feel confident in myself. I would imagine that I would feel happy about this choice for myself. I would feel proud of myself, right? So ask yourself, what will that feel like? What would that feel like? And then use that. It doesn't have to be exact. You just want to get yourself into that ballpark of, yes, you're in charge. You're the boss of you. You are creator incarnate. You are infinite light being, playing this human character, ready to ascend, which means taking your power back from all of the externals, which is just illusion, and never, ever who you are or what defines you. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your time on this platform. Please do like, share, subscribe so we can all grow together. And from here, I'm sending big hugs and kisses, love and light blessings to you and yours. Ciao for now.